And I've lived all these lyrics. There's not a lot between me and this music. This music is me. That's the interesting part about this whole record. I mean, it's really authentic when it comes to that. So this lyric, the wisdom in it is like, guess what? You could dump as much stuff as you want into your body, but you can only get so high. And after that, you die. When you give somebody lowdown, where I grew up, you say, this is what the truth is, right? So obviously, there's an aftermath, good or bad. And for me, the lowdown was my life experience of what was happening, and the aftermath was this record. That's what happened. So to make an authentic record, to leave that out, people would have called bullshit for that, you know. So I figured I'd just set the story straight, and that's what like the aftermath of the lowdown is really about, you know. And I think that it was born out of that. When I sit down with John and we write together, it's an amalgamation of two energies. He's interested in one thing and he's feeling one way, and I'm interested in another thing and I'm feeling another way. And it's an amalgamation of all that stuff that turns out the music that we turn out. When I'm writing a solo album, I'm not concerned about selling out a stadium. Not particularly concerned about having a radio smash. I'm concerned about making authentic, honest music that I'm kind of feeling right now, and I have the opportunity and the luxury to do that without really any repercussions. So money is not the object here. It's about, you know, artistic stuff, and I think that that's what people are getting turned on to. Making solo records, dare I say, it's a bit more satisfying only because you have to wear so many more hats. You are the leader, you're the lead singer, you're the lead guitar player, you're a rhythm guitar player, you're the background singer at times, you're also the co-producer, you know, I mean, you're wearing many, many hats, and you know, you're the field general basically. And I really kind of enjoy that. I was the lead singer in a lot of the bands before I got into Bon Jovi, so it's really me coming back to my roots. The Every Road Leads Home to You, that song specifically, was written for me like longing to be home with my daughter when I was on the road, right? But I think that everyone has that metaphoric vision of what home is. Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's your wife or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, kid, your dog, or just your house, your stuff, you know, that you, so again, it becomes a very universal theme. So I mean, that's kind of like where that really went. One thing that's missing is the album experience nowadays. When I used to go out and buy an LP, first thing I used to do was like open that sucker up and read the lyrics and who did what and all that kind of stuff. So the lyric video was really, really cool. And then we said, why don't we ask all the fans to send in Polaroids and pictures of the road that leads to their home. So then it made things very much deeper, you know what I mean? And everybody really liked it and got it. And I'm thrilled the way that particular video came out. I don't know where they opened up for us, but if it was in a territory they didn't seed first, when we started out, we went everywhere. And consequently, we sell records in like 60 some odd countries. A lot of bands just didn't get out of the United States. Maybe they had no desire to or whatever, you know. So maybe Billy Joe got out there and get a good reception or something like that. But I personally think that Green Day's great. I went to see them in London when they were headlining Wembley Arena, and I really enjoyed the show. I never really felt in competition with anybody as an artist. I just didn't. I never did. I think that everybody has their own individual groove. If you had a bad experience, I'm sorry, really. That's all I can say to them. I mean, you know, I mean. Before I got into Bon Jovi, I had my own independent label. So it was a bit like coming home for me, full cycle. When you talk about an independent label, you're talking about independence. And it's my independence from the band. It's my independence as my own artist. I was enamored with the company and what they did. And as I looked at the record business today and see how music is being received and how it's being merchandised or manufactured and also marketed, I just said, I want to go with a different approach. I think this record is a deeper record than that, and the gradient should be long climb. Also, I'm hoping that people, word of mouth, people are going to say, hey man, you should listen to this, this is kind of cool. So I think it's going to have its own life, and that's really what I wanted it to breathe into it as an artist. If it's received and people can relate to those songs and the lyrics in the songs and feel like they're not alone in their life and what's going on in their life, because that's what music did to me as a kid. You know, when I got my first kiss, or when I got my first heartbreak, when this chick blew me off or something like that. I'd retire into the Layla album and say, hey, he feels like that too, man, I'm not alone. And I hope that my music does that for people also.